Hey friends, I hope you guys are well. I got here from one of my previous videos about Phoenicia, I think it was. For the record, this is a good article. We can tell if an article is a good one if we see this white circle with the green plus at the top right here. So if you're new to the channel, this is Wikipedia with me, or as I call it, Wiki with me, where I just explore different Wikipedia entries that I find interesting, and I'm hopefully visit good articles and not bad ones, the best being a featured article. Without further ado, let's dig in. So, Mycenaean Greece is something that has eluded me. It is the last phase of the Bronze Age in ancient Greece, spanning the period from approximately 1750 to 1050 BC. It represents the first advanced and distinctively Greek civilization in mainland Greece, with its palatial states, urban organization, works of art, and writing system. So, palatial, resembling a palace. Okay, I should have been able to guess that one. So, palatial, so it has palaces, it has urban organizations, it has works of art and writing systems, and all of this is distinctly Greece, and it spawns or begins or comes into being at around 1750, and it ends at around 1050. So something begins it, something ends it. Hopefully we can sort of put this puzzle together here. The Mycenaeans were mainland Greek peoples. Okay, so they were from the mainland, who were likely stimulated by their contact with insular Minoan Crete and other Mediterranean cultures to develop a more sophisticated socio-political culture of their own. Interesting. So they were from the mainland, which logically makes sense because people don't arise on the islands. They probably start in the mainland and then spread to the islands. And they were stimulated by their contact with an insular Minoan Crete. So insular means keeping to themselves, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, so it says ignorant, or they're even, it's more than that. It's they're uninterested in other cultures outside of their own. So like they're ignorant and they're uninterested. So there's this Crete culture, which I have heard of, and I've always confused the two, honestly. I've heard of Minoan, and I've confused it with Mycenaean. Excuse me? So, let's see. So it says they were stimulated by their contact with insular Minoan Crete and other Mediterranean cultures to develop a more sophisticated socio-political culture of their own. So I'm just going to hover on this because I feel like I thought they were connected. The Minoan civilization was a Bronze Age culture which centered on the island of Crete. So, this is independent of Mycenaean Greece? Interesting. So the Minoan civilization, gosh, I think I'll make my own Wikipedia about that. I'll go over that entry soon, just to clear it up for me. So far we have the Mycenaeans from the mainland, and they're stimulated by their contact with insular Minoan Crete and other Mediterranean cultures to develop a more sophisticated socio-political culture of their own. The most prominent site was Mycenae, maybe I'm saying that right, Mycenae, which is where the name comes from. Let's check out this map right now, just so we get our bearings. So, okay, Mycenae is on the Peloponnese. It's right here. This, I think, is Corinth. That's Mycenae. And the Minoan island, not sure where that is, but I reckon it's somewhere here. Maybe it's this one. I don't know. So, but this is where it starts. And we can see the red dots are just settlements, and the red squares are palatial sites, or palaces. Interesting, okay. So, other centers of power included Pylos, Tiryns, Midea in the Peloponnese, Orchomenos, Thebes, and Athens in central Greece. So now we're getting, so I've heard of Thebes, I've heard of Athens. So these are Mycenaean sites. Okay. So other centers of power that emerged include Pylos, Tiryns. I just read this. Did I just read this? Yeah, I read this sentence. Thebes. So let's just go from Athens. So and Athens in central Greece, and Iolcos in Thessaly. I believe Thessaly is this part, the three fingers, I think. No, I was wrong. It's up here. Mycenaean settlements also appeared in Epirus, Macedonia, on islands in the Aegean, on the southwest coast of Asia Minor in Cyprus, while Mycenaean-influenced settlements appeared in the Levant and Italy. Okay, so the Mycenaean Greeks introduced several innovations in the field of engineering, architecture, and military infrastructure, while trade over vast areas of the Mediterranean was essential for the Mycenaean economy. Their syllabic script, Linear B, offers the first written records of the Greek language, and their religion already included several deities also to be found in the Olympic pantheon. Got it. So, not only are they creating the settlements that would become the epicenter of like Greek city-states in like classical Greece time, they also create the religion, the gods that would be on the Olympic pantheon. Cool. Mycenaean Greece was dominated by a warrior elite society. It consisted of a network of palace-centered states that developed rigid, hierarchical, political, social, and economic systems. At the head of the society was the king, known as a wanax. Wanax. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Wanax. Mycenaean Greece perished with the collapse of the Bronze Age culture. As you can see, it's purple because I've clicked on this link before and I'm going to make a video about it soon. So I've heard of this. If you haven't, there was a moment called the Bronze Age, the collapse of Bronze Age culture, that really affected the ancient world, really affected antiquity. And it seems to be what caused Mycenaean Greece to collapse as well, among other cultures. So Mycenaean Greece perished with the collapse of the Bronze Age culture in the Eastern Mediterranean, to be followed by the Greek Dark Ages, recordless transitional period leading to archaic Greece. Archaic Greece. Interesting. So, okay, this is a period that really interests me as well, so I'm going to maybe do a video about that. If you can see, it says from 800 to 480. So that's cool. By the way, I can do this thing. Actually, that seems kind of more distracting. Okay, so let's just take it up from here. A regardless transitional period leading to the archaic Greece, where significant shifts occurred from palace centralized to decentralized. 1 second. Okay, sorry, my cat just jumped on the table. So, palace centralized to decentralized forms of socioeconomic organization, including the extensive use of iron, which of course symbolizes a culture's transition to the Iron Age. The whole idea of setting up that system was an indicator of the main metal for the tools. So the Bronze Age, the most of the tooling was made out of bronze, and a culture that could use iron, which had more carbon, I think it is, and use iron ore and a lot of carbon, would be considered a Iron Age culture. So, hold on. Sorry, excuse the sounds. My cat is playing with a pen on my desk. But it's just too cute for me to kick him off. Sorry, Chuck. All right. So, sorry, I've lost my train of thought. Various theories have been proposed for the end of this civilization. Among them, the Dorian invasion. So I've heard of Dorian because of like Doric capitals. It's a type of capital, which is like the end cap of a column. Also think of like the Dorian scale in music. So I reckon it's a type of people. So the Dorian invasion is an ancient Greek myth and discredited archaeological hypotheses. So it's discredited, according to this. Or activities connected to the Sea Peoples, which I think this is has to do with the Bronze Age collapse. Additional theories such as natural disasters, climatic changes have also been suggested. The Mycenaean period became the historical setting of much of Excuse me, I hope that did not peak the microphone. Okay. So additional theories such as natural disasters and climatic changes have also been suggested. The Mycenaean period became the historical setting of much ancient Greek literature and mythology, including the Trojan epic cycle. Which, for context, I wonder, let's just click in for a moment, see when that was supposed to happen historically. The Trojan War. So around 12th and 13th century BC, which doesn't really make sense right now. Because it's saying that the period, so if, actually it does make sense. 1050, right, it ends at 1050. Why am I thinking 750? So it ends at 1050. And yeah, that kind of lines up with the Trojan War. Well, kind of, not really, actually. Anyways, a lot more in this article. That is a good article. I'm going to keep reading. I think. Oh gosh, we haven't even gotten to the pictures. Look at this. So there's more here. So I'm going to cap this off as a part 1, I think, and maybe go discover some other stuff later on. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you guys have like a wonderful rest of the day or evening, and thanks for tuning in.